Jam, and I am joined in the studio by this week's Jam Hot artist. Freejak is with us. Make some noise, studio! Woo! How are you, man?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you.
It is an absolute privilege to have you in studio.
Oh, shush.
My first guest back after my holiday, and I couldn't think of anyone better.
Oh, you're too kind.
But man, your track Sandstorm, it's the Jam Hot record of the week. It is a proper tune, and everyone as part of the Capital Dance family are really, really loving it at the moment. So listen, the original, it was huge when it came out in 1999. Why did you decide 2022 was the time for the Freejak version?
I mean, you know how this works. You never really... I never have a plan of I must do this now or I must do this then. If you need something for your sets, or like all my stuff all comes from DJing. And if I think, I could play this, but maybe I just need to update it to bring it sort of up to speed a little bit. That's how all my stuff starts. There was no plan of a full release, nothing more than just making the record so I could play it out in my sets. Sent it to a friend of mine, Tiesto, and
1 second.
Clunk.
Oh, just pick up that name you just dropped. Just a friend of mine.
Clang. No, it's very strange, the whole thing with Tiesto. He's so kind and he's so polite, much like yourself. But and he jumped on board with it really, really early and started giving it spin after spin after spin. And he had it sort of pre-Christmas time, so then he sort of played it in his New Year's Eve sets, and it sort of started to snowball. And then that's when the labels sort of got involved and started moving it forwards and making it actually a proper release. So there was no design behind it. It's like, I think all the best records sort of grow organically somehow.
I love that. Talk me through the process of making it though, because you've done a couple of things on your socials about the process of you recreating that Sandstorm sound. You do realise you could just got the synth.
Well,
you could just get the preset.
I'll let you into a secret, because there is actually, and we haven't released this yet, but I've done a full-length tutorial on how I made it, bit to bit to bit to bit. I think it's like 40 minutes long, because so many people have asked and so many people have gone, is it a sample? But no, I did recreate the whole thing from scratch. Having sort of turned my hand to so many, I think maybe this is where my age perhaps plays for my benefit slightly. The fact that I heard those synths the first time round, I can guess what year it was made, so I know probably what synths were around. I know what sort of envelopes they had, and I can really sort of nerd out and sort of use my historic knowledge of synths and stuff. And you can take a best guess using the new stuff, and then you sort of just use your ear to try and get it as sympathetic as possible, really.
Now, mate, listen, the best part about this tune is that it's brought generations together.
Yeah,
like
really
some
has.
people like you and I remember when it first came out, and they remember when they first heard it. And some people, like producer Lydia, who's 12, she thought it was a brand new tune. She'd never heard of the original.
Oh, really?
And then she's like, what's this new record? Do you remember where you were when you first heard the Rude Sample?
Do you know what? We've literally just had this discussion. Yes, I do. I was probably living in Oxford at the time. I was signed to Big Life Records. So what was it? 99 maybe?
99.
Yeah. I was already working for Big Life Records there, working on other records previously, like Free From Desire and Gat Called Passion stuff, and just as a studio tech guy, not as an artist as such. Yeah. So, and I was DJing as well, sort of all over the place in festivals and that, and it was just one of those records that was so different, it was so unique, it was so energetic at a time where that was the first sort of generation of copying. I think there was quite a lot of cut and paste around at that time in the sort of trance pantheon, but that was one for me that just sort of like, when I first heard that, I was like, I won't swear, but get your bleep button ready.
But you just gave us a little bit of an insight, because I mean, I know your history because we've been friends for a long time, and I do know how far your roots run. For anyone that is brand new to you as an artist, as a producer, you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've just been discussing this, but I signed my first record deal when I was 15, back in 1990.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I spent most of my career on the sort of back edge of things. Sort of, I was the guy in the studio tech and, outside, out of mind. I've done lots of remixes for loads of artists under loads of different names, but I mean, I don't know how many records we've released now, but it's hundreds, certainly in the hundreds, over 28 years as a professional. So.
I love it.
I feel old now.
No, you just started really young.
Yeah, I did start really young. And I find that amazing when I still look at people like Avicii and I think, and Martin Garrix, and I think, it's amazing that these guys were so good so quickly. And I forget that I was 15 when I first got started. And I fell into it quite by accident. No design behind it again. Jazz at Big Life, he was kind enough to take me under his wing and he shoved me down in the studio and we sort of did a deal, there wasn't even any music written. He was like, I just know that there's going to be something there at some point, so let's just put you in the studio and you can make tea and do the hoovering and learn how stuff works. And I literally went in from the bottom up and made the tea and learnt along the way. And there are some key people like Jazz who changed my life no end.
And now look, you fast forward to now and the quality is there. The collaborators list is ridiculous. You've got friends like Tiesto that you sent to. And in fact, I do want to talk about the major support that you have had. And the reaction from the industry has just been crazy. You've got your label mate Joel Corry dropping it on all of his shows and his tours in Australia and America. Tiesto's been rinsing it. How does it feel knowing that these are people that are playing your music?
I mean, because these people they're not real, are they?
No.
They're not real people.
No.
So, and again, we were having this discussion earlier. I was in some grotty club somewhere playing a set and I was like, where's this going? And then all of a sudden you got like Diplo hitting you up going, Diplo wants to send you a message on Instagram and you're like, wow, what's going on? This is weird. And then other people jumping on like Armin van Buuren and Fedde Legrand. And I mean, the list is just endless but all of these people, I think, are of an age that will know the original so well and they will appreciate, hopefully, that I haven't just sort of ripped this one apart at the seams. I've tried to keep the essence of what I thought was beautiful about the original and tried to just bring it up to sort of, a modern take, that's all.
But you just mentioned Diplo there. Diplo calls you a producer of fire.
Once by accident.
No. I'm not having that because I have witnessed Diplo playing your productions for a while.
Yeah, he's been a great supporter. And again, I find that completely unreal. But I mean, because he's a big fan and supporter of DJ City, and I've been working with them for a long time, and he picks up a lot of my edits and remixes from there, and and we've never really sort of made that connect before, but when I did the Talamanca bootleg, which used the Diplo vocal, that's when he sort of reached out to me and sort of we got chatting a bit, so hopefully develop that further.
I mean, I would love to see a Freejak and Diplo collaboration on Higher Ground. I'd just like to see it happen, and we're just going to put it out there in the universe because I really do want to see that happen.
That would be nice.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's talk about your collaborators list, because just as Freejak, Khalees, Tom Zanetti, Sigala, Craig David, Disciples, who else is on the list of people right now that if you could just pick up the phone and go, let's make a tune together?
Do you know what, right? And this is going to come a bit left field, but I personally think one of the best songwriters out there is Post Malone.
Ooh.
That guy can write a hook like no one else, and I think his voice crosses so many genres. It's so neutral but special in so many. I just love every song he's ever written. Not necessarily that maybe the music is necessarily my kind of thing, but a good song is a good song, and it translates into anything. You could do a rock cover of any of his songs and it would sound great, or a country and western cover and it would still be a great song, and that's what I admire in good songwriting, really. And I think for me, Post Malone is one of the best writers out there.
Freejak, Diplo, Post Malone.
Oh, let's make that happen.
We're putting it out into 2023. It has to happen. It has to happen.
We got the label here, Rob. Can we start working on this?
Come on, Rob. You know what you're doing. Come on. But listen, there is one more thing that I need to do with you before we let you head home. We need to add a legend like you to our Capital Dance DJ card collection.
DJ card collection? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Top Trumps cards.
Oh, yes.
Or like Panini stickers.
I'm old enough for that.
Yeah, baseball cards over in America. We do a DJ version here at Capital Dance. And I'm going to ask you to rate a number of your DJ skills out of 100.
Oh, I have 100, right.
So you're going to be joining the likes of James Hype, Riton, Jody Harsh, Paul Woolford.
Oh, wow. Does mine have to sort of calibrate with theirs?
No, yours has to be as honest as possible.
Okay, all right.
Paul Woolford tried to be humble. We wouldn't let him have it.
Okay.
Disclosure argued between themselves. So we'll figure out where you sit, Freejak.
After Coachella, the disclosure set at Coachella, wow.
Yeah.
Those guys.
That looked like a moment.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? Diplo, Freejak, Post Malone, Coachella 2023. We're just saying. We're just making
Dream big.
I mean, we might as well. So, songwriting. What would you score yourself out of 100?
Oh, songwriting. Do you know what? Being the world's worst singer, I have plenty of songs up here, but getting them out is a tricky one. So I'm gonna go low on songwriting. I'm gonna go 65.
65. That and the rest of it is auto-tune.
Yes, yeah. I use a lot of auto-tune.
Instrument skills. What would you rate yourself out of 100?
Oh, now, yeah, I'm going to put myself up there in the 90s probably, because I'm classically trained pianist. Started playing the piano when I was 6. Classically trained percussionist, drummer. I can play the guitar. So instrumentation, I can do that.
You can also program the hell out of a synth. Mixing skills out of 100.
DJ mixing or studio mixing?
I think we should split this in two and take an average of the both, because I've seen both and witnessed both of yours. So let's start off with DJ mixing skills.
DJ mixing skills, I'm quite a traditionalist when it comes to DJing. I know people like James Hype and that are taking DJing to a whole new level. But I'm quite a traditionalist. I like to let the music do the talking. So, because when I've spent 6 months working on a record, I know where I want the drop to be, and so I don't want people messing around with it. So I'm quite a traditionalist. So I'm going to put mixing skills sort of slightly lower, sort of 75. But I'm a traditionalist. I like to let the music do the talking and let the producers who spent months planning them allow them to do the work. So quite old school in that sense.
And music mixing in the studio.
Studio mixing, sounds. I'm going to put myself up there a little bit, probably. I mean, you can always be better. There's always new toys. There's always new things to learn. And the moment you say that you're 100%, forget that, because the game changes like that straight away. So I'm going to put myself up in the 90s probably for that. Yeah.
I love that.
Can always learn more.
I love that. Crowd hype skills. Again, I've seen you work in a crowd.
Yeah, I'm a big mouth. Yeah, got a big mouth.
Out of 100,
I'm a show. 102. I'm a show off.
So Diplo, you best be prepared for Coachella next year. Freejak's on the mic.
I'm not subtle.
Your dancing ability out of 100. It's important for a DJ. Very important.
Okay, right. So I'll be honest here. You want some honesty?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have some honesty. So I am a terrible dancer. Right. Like, horrific. Like,
it's why we DJ though.
But I'm actually a trained dancer.
What?
So I went to one of those drama-y type schools and I did tap and jazz and ballet and all of that stuff. So I'm actually a grade 6 tap dancer. Right. Just a long time ago, back in the 1930s or something, when it was cool.
No, Rob, we're not having this. We're not having this.
But yeah, there's an exclusive for you. So, yeah, I've actually trained dancer, but I'm terrible at dancing now. I think it's been DJing for so long, you don't get to practice your skills. We're a killer at a sidestep, 2-step, I can do that. But, anything more than that.
I mean, you're saying this. I'm now picturing a future Freejak release that is you tap dancing.
Yeah, me and Wayne Sleep.
Target reference. You from the label. They're like, yeah, we know who that is. Looking at producer, just like, oh.
Yeah, you might want to Google that.
Laura knows. Laura, you are a little bit old.
Start Googling that.
So, dancing ability, I'm going to give you 100. I'm not going to let you. If you're classically trained up to level 6.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I used to have the skills, but
Finally, the outfit style.
Oh, terrible dresser.
No, you're not.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, I'm forever having to apologise. I have the fashion police knocking on my door once a week. They've got a warrant out.
They're the boys that have come to your yard. You think they're coming for milkshake? Oh no, they're coming because of that shirt that you wore.
Exactly. Do you know what? I was cleaning some stuff out of my closet this week to go off to recycling or to charity shops, and I have just got a horrific collection of hideous shirts that Magnum PI would be proud of.
Basically,
another reference.
Well, basically, you were Salado before Salado was Salado.
I've got some.
You pioneered the tech house shirt.
No, you've got to go to Fatboy Slim for that one.
Yes, that's true.
That's true. You got to blame him.
That's Norman's fault.
Yeah,
everything's Norman's fault, to be honest.
He was the pioneer of it all.
He was. Right, Freejak, it has been an absolute pleasure having you in the studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure having your record as Jam Hot this week. Please keep them rolling.
There's some good stuff in the pipeline. Can't wait to play it to you.
Anything you'd like?
We'll have a little chat offline and we'll swap some USBs. Rob's getting worried there over there. He's like, don't tell him anything.